any words that comeback?
Yeah, impressive. The guys together, they found ways to get stops. Together, they found ways to create offense, create shots. Together, they just did a lot of things really well. It's a game of runs, and that was a huge one to finish it. So, a lot of credit to our players.
Coach, obviously early in the game, we saw TNT captain exchange with you and Kevin. He jerked away from you. I'm just curious what was going on there early in the game with you and him.
He and I were like old friends or whatever. We're always probably grabbing and talking to each other. So I thought he actually, his energy and his voice tonight was great. I think there was some kind of play, offensive play. He wanted something, I wanted something, and it's the beauty of basketball. So, but I think, as the game, really from that moment, his voice and, him talking, feedback, ideas, suggestions, was really, I think, a big part of the night.
If I may, just a quick follow. Have you ever experienced that where you have an exchange with a guy and then it seemed like a switch flips and he just engages that way with you the rest of the game? Because you guys were talking pretty much the rest of the way.
Yeah, I'm not a guy that goes back a lot and thinks in the rear view. So, it's when you have, great players and, guys that know the game and think the game. And it's the beauty of coaching in this league is learning from players. These guys are teaching us all the time. I know it's supposed to be the other way around, but so no, it's all healthy. It's all good.
Coach, to your point about it being a game of runs at the end of the third quarter, it felt like we were seeing similar type of body language, and then that switch flipped. How badly did you guys need that type of resurgent effort?
Yeah, no, there's no doubt. Everybody knows where we are. This was to go on that run. I thought the competitiveness on the boards, guys getting in there, mixing it up, scrambling for each other, rotating, getting out, running. This was much needed.
Obviously, with Brad being out, Colin got that opportunity in the fourth. What was he able to do in terms of providing you guys with a spark there?
Yeah, I think it starts with Colin's defense. I think, he brings a little bit of an edge. I think him getting into, if we look at the film, I feel like there's a couple of instances where he's tapping or getting balls. And then, I thought he was aggressive getting to the basket. He took advantage of opportunities to go downhill, had a couple layups, and then obviously the big three late. He really came through when we needed him.
Coach, what do you think it takes to kind of sustain the energy that you guys had in the first and the fourth over the course of the whole game?
Yeah, that's been our magical question. How can we do it for more of the 48? And that's going to continue to be our push. How do we capture that good team? There's a good team. And, it's every team's challenge. And so we got to continue to fight to find our best for 48.
And the other day, Book was talking about how every game moving forward should have this kind of playoff feel. Is that something that you guys are encouraging, and did you feel that tonight?
Yeah, I think, we know where we are. We know the work we have to do. So I do think, there's a heightened, I think, probably awareness, attention, and for us to dig down and get this one, we just got to build off this.
Coach, you've had chronically been starting some of your two-way guys in the fourth, like Ty, Colin. What's been the impetus behind that lately?
I think sometimes there's some injuries on, kind of the either starters or guys ahead of them, and but there's a ton of confidence in both Colin and Ty from camp on. Both those guys have shown an ability, I think, to play in the league, to impact winning in the league. So, both Colin and Ty as two ways. Credit to, our G League team. Coach Litt, everything they're doing down there. Having these guys ready to play groups, so I think a lot of credit, all throughout the organization for what Colin did tonight.
But it's not the first time we've seen your team come back from a second half 20-point deficit against Clippers. What about that team made it so that y'all could be encouraged to complete this comeback? Because, again, you saw it before in Halloween.
Yeah, no, there's, our games have been a little bit strange, and, we found a way a couple different times. So, each of them's been different. I thought Mason was really good tonight. Our bigs were really good. Like, obviously, Zubac was amazing. So tonight, I think some of the other games, both teams have been small and spread it out. And, I don't know. There's just, I think it's probably more just an anomaly. But, there was a fight from our guys that was good against the Clips tonight. All right, thank you, guys.
Out there, so you can get the crowd going. How much were you fully or completely feeling what the crowd was giving back, and how much you feel like that resonated with the game?
Yeah, I mean, just looking around after we were down 20, it looked like they're having a terrible time. And I hate, putting that type of product on the court. I know we should focus on the game and focus on the game plan and not look into the crowd and not engage with the crowd and keep it professional, all of this shit they tell us. But I surveyed the crowd and see, because we need them. We need that energy. So I looked around and just looked dead. And the only way to spark it up is to make some plays, see the ball go through the run. And we did to start that forward. We got to start second quarter better. That's really the game. 41-19 the second quarter. We start the second quarter, give them a 12-2 run every game, it felt like, So we got to be better in that area. And we fought uphill all game, but the fourth quarter was special, man. That was footprint was on fire.
Curious, obviously, so TNT captured you and Bud having an exchange. What was going on there?
Yeah, that's what usually happens when you don't know the dynamics of a relationship. You catch something on TV, you get a quote, and now you pushing that narrative as if me and Bud don't do that shit all the time. We competitive as two individuals who want to see things done the right way. And sometimes my way ain't the way that Bud want to do it, and vice versa. And he allows me as a player on the team, a veteran on the team, to voice my opinion. If we both didn't care, we would never have stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm glad that the win is going to sweep all of that stupid stuff under the rug, because people couldn't wait. Even some people in Phoenix in here couldn't wait to run with that, and say, oh, this is the reason why the team ain't playing well, because of that specific thing. But come on, man. That shows that me and Bud really care about trying to right this shit and trying to win basketball games. So he understands where I'm coming from. I understand exactly where he's coming from. It's just the people on the outside don't know the dynamics of the relationship. So, in order for them to get some attention, they're going to run with stuff like that.
Which brings me to following up, the conversations not only continue, but I just noticed that you were voicing your opinion, he was voicing his throughout the rest of the game. And I know that it's something that quit.
I wish they cut to that and slow-mo that when me and him come to a solution together and we smiling on the bench and we tapping each other on the chest and slapping hands hard. I wish they would post that on Instagram and Twitter and say, wow, this is leadership right here. But when we do that other shit, that gets the attention. That's just the nature of the world we in. That's the nature of the content and the NBA in general. So it's frustrating when you see shit like that and you see the reaction to it, but I know deep down what it is between Bud and I, and he knows it too. And this ain't the first time we got into it, not even got into it, we had a quick disagreement and moved right on right after the next play. And so it's not gonna be the last either. And Bud knows that, and he respects how much I care and I respect how much he cares.
Kev, considering where you guys are at in the season and all the noise that you're talking about, how much did you guys need a win like this tonight?
Man, this is a fun win. It was two ends of the spectrum. This is about the worst you can get. In the first three quarters, just how we played in the second quarter and in that third quarter, and then just to change the tide that quick and play that type of basketball. We were playing faster. We were covering for each other on defense. We got shots early in the clock as opposed to late in the clock. We didn't turn the ball over much. We were swarming on defense, getting rebounds. That's Suns basketball right there. And that's how we need to play moving forward.
Looking at Colin, he came in and gave you guys a big lift in that fourth quarter. What did you like from him?
I always love how Colin is poised and he's a dog. He cares. He wanted a lot of locker room about the last game, and he didn't even contribute a minute to that disaster. And he came out and was pissed off after the game last game. So you could tell when he got another opportunity, he was going to make the most of it. And go out there and play his game. And every time he steps on the floor, he's been doing that. Even in the G, in the G, he's just dominant. But up here, he comes in here and makes, leaves a mark and plays extremely hard. I love playing with him, So hopefully he can build on this and get more consistent minutes after this, and help us out a little bit. And coach made a great adjustment throwing him in there, And to start the fourth quarter, coach was just perfect, to be honest. Every adjustment he made was incredible. He was catalyst for all of it.
Katie, kind of building off Gerald's first question, there's obviously been a lot of things that haven't gone well for this team, for the last month and change, even before that. Is this kind of comeback, this kind of win, can this be a pivotal moment in the season?
I told the guys, man, we should not even focus on the big picture. Everything should be right in the moment. Just we focus on the next possession should be the most important. We would love to say that this win is going to ignite us and push us to win some in a row and have a storybook ending of us going to the play. All that stuff it sounds good to say, but for us, it's about the next possession. Next day matters. The next possession matters. And we can't focus too far down the line because we don't got that luxury to do that. So stay in the moment as much as we can. Enjoy where we are and put your best effort in that moment and see what happens.
And then I wanted to ask you about Kyrie. Obviously, personal relationship there, competitive business, but just your thoughts on Kyrie suffering obviously a devastating injury.
Man, I feel for my boy, because I know how much he cares about the game and loves the game and loves his routine and enjoys playing for his teammates, the ultimate teammate, the best teammate. Man, he loves the game so much. I'm just hurt for him, But he's such a strong-minded person that he's going to bounce back and beat Kyrie even better than he was before he got hurt, So prayers up to him and wishing him a speedy recovery.
Kevin, not trying to be disrespectful to, just the fact that it's two teams competing, but y'all saw the Clippers in Halloween, or down 20 in the second half of that game, and were able to come back and win. Like, what is it about that team that kind of at least made you, but maybe your team as well, say you got to keep playing and you have an opportunity to be able to complete this comeback?
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. We did that twice against the Clips, and it's just that when we get down, we tend to keep the game simple, just play a little harder and play a little bit more free, and we're able to get back into the game. They are a streaky team too. When they're knocking down shots and making threes, they were the toughest teams, So and they space out a lot and shoot threes, drive and kick, but I think we kept the ball in front. In the second quarter, we didn't keep the ball in front. They got whatever they wanted, so we keep the ball in front. I think we put ourselves in good situations to win the basketball game. But it's just a coincidence it was happening against this team twice this year.
Kev, to go back to the crowd in the middle quarters, there were some boos coming in, but once you guys responded with the energy in the fourth quarter, the energy started to come, and they responded to your call as well. What's your relationship been with them, with them in this arena?
Yeah, I always wonder what booing is going to do for your team. It actually makes no sense. If you really wanted to make your voice be heard, just get up and leave, and we'll feel that more than you booing. So we need energy, you know what I'm saying? When we down 20, we need y'all to get a little louder in there and cheer a little louder. And that was my thing once I started talking to the crowd. It's just like, booing has been a part of sports culture for the last 50, 60 years. I think it's about time we put that up, you know what I'm saying? Just get up and leave if you don't feel like watching this team play bad basketball. And we will understand. And that would make us feel even worse, seeing y'all getting up and leaving. But the energy that they show, how loud they get on a good night, I mean, it's second to none. So I wanted to ignite that as much as possible. And I'm sitting there like, what the fuck? Like, get y'all up. Let's do something for us. You know what I'm saying? So they responded well. It's nothing but love in this with this fan base. They always support and always show up and selling out every game that I play here. So I think they really, really enjoyed this win tonight, and this type of win, type of game, team they can get behind if we play that brand of basketball. So I understand booing, but that's some like 1960s, 70s shit. Just get up and leave.
Kev, kind of related to Kellen's question, the other day Book was talking about how every game moving forward needs to kind of have this playoff feel. Do you feel that, and do you feel like that's kind of what it's going to take moving forward?
Yeah. I mean, I think everybody needs to bring that playoff type intensity of the focus every possession. I think that's more than anything, just focusing in on every possession and building on good possessions, not letting bad things compound themselves. So, yeah, I mean, that's the approach we need to take, especially being 4 games under 500 and it being almost the end of the season. Yeah, we got to get on our horse to see what we can do. And, that pressure should be fun for us.
Thanks, guys.
Colin, when you just think about that fourth quarter for you, just how we've played that big game before, so this is nothing new, but it's new here. So I'm curious just what was going through you in that fourth, knowing you were being part of a huge comeback.
Just play hard, compete. We were down. I don't know what we started down, but we were down. So just try to inject some energy, some life, playing hard, competing, talking to the guys, getting stops, being physical, being aggressive. So just trying to do all the little things to just change the game in whatever way I could.
We saw a stretch where you were dribbling. I said, okay, he's going to do something, but then you ended up getting past James for a layup. Maybe just take me through what you were, seeing on that play.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a feel thing, getting used to playing with those guys. Obviously, they're very good basketball players, so they're going to get denied by everybody else. So, just got to pick spots to be aggressive, when to attack, when to find them and get into certain actions. But, yeah, I was just dribbling around for a little bit, and then I was like, all right, nobody's.
Last day, for me at least, that three, when the ball swung to you, were you letting that go no matter what?
Yeah, I mean, Kay made a great decision. Two went with him, and then somebody stayed with Mason on the roll. And Mason ended up getting a piece of the guy who was coming to close out on me, kind of screened him in. So I was open, and I was just going to shoot it confidently. I worked on it a lot, so why not?
Colin, when you mentioned being down 19 at the end of the third quarter, what do you feel like you guys were able to do in that fourth to kind of change the way that the game felt?
Yeah, I mean, we picked our pace up, picked the tempo up, but I think it started on the defensive end. We got stops. We were able to run in transition a little bit, being physical, just picking our energy up, doing the little things. I think we won a lot of 50-50 balls, cleaned up the offensive glass. So guys started playing harder. We picked our energy up, and Kay got the fans involved one or two times. And then Book did a good job of just kind of initiate. We played through those guys a lot in ball screens and brought certain guys up, and they made the right decisions.
You mentioned that KD moment with the fans, knowing where you guys are at in the season and how every game is kind of must-win territory right now.
Mm-hmm.
How big was it to have that type of comeback, those types of moments?
Yeah, I mean, it's important, especially to have the fans into the game, home court advantage. All that stuff plays a factor. It's super important. That's why you see guys over on the bench, energized, up. Oso and Ryan do a really good job of that. But that stuff is really important, and just trying to maintain it, because the flow of the game is ups and downs, highs and lows. So you just got to stay positive, keep a positive attitude, and continue to play. And anything can really happen. It's a long game.
Colin, when you bring the energy back here, when you bring the energy that you did to the game, and you can feel the crowd responding, but also your teammates as well, like, can you describe that feeling and just what you feel in those kind of moments when you see it start to pick up?
Yeah, I mean, it feels good. I take pride in that stuff. I play that way. I've always played that way. I compete at a high level, or I try to at least play hard. And normally when you play hard and you compete, good things happen. So. But yeah, it was really just a credit to my teammates. They picked their energy level up. We started getting stops. We started running, and it's kind of human nature when things are going well, right? Like, then everybody's energy kind of picks up. So I think that kind of happened. We started making some shots. We started getting stops, and there was kind of new life.
When you check in, I'm sure like the first three bulletins in your bullets in your head are just like energy, but like once the game started to get close, does that mindset change for you at all with like execution, or is it still just that energy first and everything else second?
No, I think energy is always important. But yeah, I mean, execution is important as well. Knowing the scouting report for defense, and then trying to get K and Book involved as much as I can. And other guys are really good at playing off them. Grayson, Royce, Mason, Nick, those guys, and Tyus. So let those guys try to make decisions, put them in good spots with the basketball so they can make good decisions. And we started doing that in the fourth.
Steve, a lot of burn.
Colin, like you know how tense this season has been. Like to see how that first half was going and see Kevin animated. What did you notice from him that was different than how he's been, most of the season? And how did you respond to everything that was going on before you got into the game?
Yeah, man, he's passionate. He loves basketball. He loves the game, and nobody likes losing. So he's a great teammate. He's vocal. Along with a lot of our other guys, very vocal, and they've been in the league a long time, so they've been through a lot of things. But yeah, he was great tonight in terms of staying into the game and just making plays down the stretch, offensively, defensively. He had a big play defensively. I think it was a block maybe, but yeah, he was really good in the fourth quarter for us.
How did that kind of affect you personally?
Oh, everybody feeds off those guys. Book, K, Brad. They're our best players. Everybody knows it. So their energy is huge for us, and everybody else feeds off of it.
Brendan, last one.
Colin, just going off that point, I mean, you haven't played much this season, but getting that confidence, and you see KD talking to you and Ty a lot, what does that mean to get that confidence, even when you're not playing, them instilling that confidence in you?
Yeah, man, that's somebody that I watched when I grew up, so it's super cool. It's a really surreal moment for me. I've had the opportunity to play with a lot of great players, and he's definitely up there. He's one of the greatest players to ever play the game. So, yeah, it definitely instills confidence in you when that guy is telling you to shoot the ball and be aggressive and do all the other things that you do. So, yeah, it's really important for my development. Ty, that's two-way guys going in there, just playing confident, being free, and trying to do what we do as best we can.
Thanks, Colin.
Appreciate you guys.